Hello, once again, dear viewers, and welcome back to another Moonflower Tarot reading. And today I am going to be channeling message from the universe, your higher self, as well as others on your spirit team, ways that you can become a more empowered empath, depending on where you are in your journey. If you have found this video, then this message is most likely for you. Take only what resonates. This is also a timeless reading, so if it doesn't resonate for you now, it might. So always come back and check back in when you've done a healing. You're always welcome here. And I want to thank everyone for being here. We're all working together and we can't do this alone. I am also going to be pulling from my own experience with developing a more balance between empathic, altruistic side of self, as well as setting boundaries with those who might not have the capacity to give to themselves or others in the same way you might. And that's one of the risks we take as people pleasers, going down this road towards empathic empowerment. And I just want to relay any messages that the divine has for you, any assistance, any help you might need. And I'm just going to be open and channel the energy coming through. And I really do pray this finds you at the right time and you take this as you will, and you know help you on this journey, join you on this journey as well. And again, I just want to keep saying the phrase, you're not alone, you're not doing this alone, we are never alone. Because even before I started my journey, like 4, 5, or even 6 years ago, there were those before me who had already gone through this, and I learned from them, you know, what I had to do to get through this, certain things that might happen. And a lot of this has to do sometimes with moments of realization. And unfortunately, that leads to the dark night of the soul. And before I even started this reading, I think so many messages about divine guidance surround you right now. First of all, there's a lot of very motherly energy around you. You have a lot of motherly goddess energy, let me just say. In your back pocket, in your court, whether you align with those deities or not, like the types of people that you are facing now require a high level of guidance, guardianship, and through actively meditating and focusing their energy and almost aligning with these motherly spirits, you are igniting a part of yourself that will be safe as you go out on your own, so that you can almost reparent yourself or not bear the burden of motherly energy alone, because you have that spirit within you. A lot of times when I'm channeling like higher beings or getting messages or receiving messages from deities or goddesses, like the goddess Freya came through, the goddesses Artemis, Athena, Isis, and some others as well came through, like right off the bat, and Sekhmet. You embody that on some level. Your soul shares a piece of that energy with those higher formed beings. That's why they want to come through to you today, saying you have that in you. So you have that mother energy in you. You can reparent yourself, and they're helping you bear the burden so you don't have to do it alone. And that's what happened when I went through my dark night of the soul. If you are going through that right now, first of all, I just want to congratulate you for even doing the shadow work that's taking place. It's not easy, and just let you know it's going to be okay. So I keep hearing the phrase, we want to help you bear the burden. Let them help you bear the burden. Know that you're not doing this alone. And so we're gonna get through this, because I'm feeling like you feel like you're at a stalemate in this time. I feel hesitant, like I don't want to move on with this. I don't want to continue with this reading. I feel like I don't. Someone here or a few of you might not want to hear what's being said, because that's kind of the almost inconvenient truth of being an empathic person, or if you identify as a psychic empath. It's like, something's wrong, you know what you have to do about it, but you're like so terrified and scared, because it's like. And I just want to say I'm there with you. I'm going to give my own experience. I hope that helps you during this reading, because I feel like I can't put this out there right now. I went through this about 4 years ago. I had this weird tower moment with a very long standing relationship that I thought was just fine. We were basically, let's just say, it was like a very toxic relationship dynamic that I knew was not really good, but I just didn't think any other way was possible. Something happened, an event happened in my life where all doubt was removed that this person was just as bad or hostile as some of the people in the environment I grew up in, and they were treating me in the same way. And I was basically in a type of relationship that isolated me from everyone. And at the same time, it was revealed to me what I went through in childhood growing up. So my tower fell down so hard. It wasn't just this relationship that I was in for over 9 years that fell down. It was my entire family. It was all my friendships. Everything fell away before me. And I was trying desperately to hold on to it. I didn't want to believe it. So it's like slowly over time, the veil had to be lifted. And everything I went through during my entire life was revealed to almost be kind of half true. And me being a very highly sensitive and empathic person wanted to be the one to save everyone, to see the good in everyone. But all this was sort of like happening at the same time where I could not ignore everything I was seeing and some of the things I relived because I was tapping into some past life memories, some current life memories that were like almost buried deep within because it was very bad. And I didn't want to face it. I didn't want to admit that maybe it's like my entire life was a lie. These people were bad to me and had to go through an entire grieving process and through a lot of shadow work and therapy and having a dark night of a soul that lasted 4 years. And it's not easy. It's not easy to go through. No one should have to go through it. But unfortunately, you're such a kind and loving soul, I want to tell you. And I want to hug you. I want to send you my love. I want to hug you spiritually and hold you and let you know it's going to be okay. So please stick through this. If you feel like you can, don't. If you think it's going to be too much, if it's too much, click away. There's so many other videos out there, even on this channel, that can help you get through it. Watch a video of a ducky or a bunny hopping through the forest. I'm not even kidding you. If you're not ready for this, then I just want you to know that it's okay. But when you are, come back here. I'm going to give you the biggest soul hug and solve the mystery of how we can get you on track, honeys, because you deserve love. And I just want to let you know you're not alone. And every once in a while, I find myself going through this still. And literally, my spirit guides were like, this might take a lifetime to be able to heal and go through. But I'm just going to tell you now, I do not regret the decision I made over 5 years ago to walk away. Because this was even before 2018 that I was sort of getting hints that I might need to kind of take a step back. And it just slowly grew and evolved. But you're not going to get through this all at once. It is going to be reintroduced into your life, these situations, these people, or even events that might mirror stuff from your childhood so you can let go. To become an empowered empath, you must first grieve the loss of all the people you gave your light to and you loved. Because the truth be told, I loved the people who couldn't love me back, essentially. I still love them. I love them enough to walk away. And I see my like going no contact as a way to sort of like not tempt them to hurting me anymore. And it's a weird way to think of it, but it's like the most altruistic thing you can do in that situation for all parties involved, including you, is to walk away because you're not giving them a chance to, do the same thing they did to you before. You're not letting them have more bad karma against them or you, because it's almost like enabling an addict. They were addicted to your love and your light because you could give it to them freely and they didn't have to do anything in return. But God is like a loan shark saying, no, there's a debt that needs to be repaid. And if you keep supplying them, they're going to keep coming back to you. You're giving them love and you're enabling their lack of love. And it's hard. And it's hard to think that so many people in your life might be doing this to you. And what I'm saying might absolutely contradict every bone in your body, and every healing method you've been through might not have worked before. But I think the thing standing in your way right now might be just you and your love and your heart being in the right place, but people around you taking advantage. And I'm so sorry if that's the case. So I just want to say thank you for bearing with me because I really genuinely want to help you. And this is going to be the hardest video I have to make right now, because to become an empowered empath, you do have to almost like balance the part of your soul that refuses to not see the light in others. And that's a hard thing to do, but it's a gift you're being given right now and here. And I think I can say it in a way you might understand or resolve the issue. And I really do hope. So, like, giving so many to other people, getting nothing in return is not a way to live, let me just tell you. And I'm seeing an image of a snake. You you have a lot of people around you. It's sort of like I'm getting a Garden of Eden metaphor. You have so many people around you who are like tempting you and encouraging you to do the wrong thing. And you know that it's not true and you shouldn't like do what they're telling you to do, but you respect them in a way, but you also fear them. Like you don't want the snake to bite you, but you don't want to stomp on their head. It's like you want to walk away peacefully, but it's hard when they try to rope you back in because you have a heart. And you think, well, if I don't help them, no one will. And there are so many tactics people use to try to convince you not to leave or walk away. And what I'm going to say to you is you're not responsible for their lives. You're not meant to save them or everyone. And I know this has come up a lot in my readings. So I do really want to help you get through this, to how to be a more empowered empath. And I'm just going to flip these cards and see what comes through to you. So, okay, this Nine of Swords keeps coming through a lot. It's so funny because I'm also kind of seeing this as the Hanged Man, maybe either in reverse or upright, depending on where you are. If you're clearing a lot of stagnant energy or stagnancy in your life, or you feel like things aren't flowing easily, a lot of it has to do with some sort of inability to relieve certain past life karmas or even present life like traumatic situations, and that's kind of blocking you. You're going to be facing the same, like if you left a group of people, you're going to meet them again. Let's just say you're going to face the same situations over and over again until you clear that from you. And sometimes it just means accepting it for what it is. It's a bad deal. It's not good. You shouldn't be treated like that, yet people still do. And you're not the problem there. The only problem you are is resisting this change that needs to happen and not acknowledging your feelings and saying, yeah, these people are kind of crappy. They're mistreating me. And also, I love them. Like I literally had a dream about someone I had to let go of. And I'm going to just tell you this. I had a dream about someone where I got to the point in my healing. I had let them go 3 years ago and I was resisting acknowledging the truth about them. But in a dream sequence, I was in a space that we shared together for a long time. And they admitted to me that they were hurting me. They knew they were hurting me. And they were almost smiling at me. And in return, I said to them, I wish you the best. I love you. And I hope you rot in hell. And then I left laughing all the way. So basically, you can hold those two truths at the same time. I thank you for telling me that you're a bad person. I love you. I wish you the best. And also, go to hell. You're not welcome back in this house anymore. You're not welcome in my life. You can do it more respectfully because I essentially haven't said that to their face. I'm not talking with this person anymore, but I was speaking to their soul as they were speaking to me. And there was this dialogue that was set up, but I had to first accept that what they were doing was wrong and I didn't deserve it, but also accept the fact that I actually love them. I still love them. And that's okay. Like, don't shame yourself for loving someone who hurt you and you have to walk away from. You can love them from afar and acknowledge, but I love me more and I love me enough to walk away from you and not make the same mistake you did of basically hurting others. So I think there's some shadow work that's being done, trauma responses that need to be worked through, because once you work through and process the emotions, you can then come back to yourself or center and set boundaries from a new space of healing. Like if you get to a point where you acknowledge what was done to you was wrong and you deserve better, it's easier for you to be in the mindset of setting boundaries with people who mirror those who have hurt you. And I keep feeling like I need to repeat myself. You need to acknowledge what they did to hurt you. You need to acknowledge what they did was wrong. And there's no excuse for it. And you can look at their history and their sob story all you want and have empathy for them. That is okay. But it still doesn't justify their mistreatment of you. It doesn't matter what they went through. What matters most is they hurt you, and that's not okay. You might have gone through the same darn thing. Did you choose to hurt them? I don't think so. Maybe you did. But at least you're choosing to know the difference between their darkness and your light. You didn't hurt them the same way they hurt you. Your life might have mirrored theirs, but they chose to instead fix themselves, hurt you. That's not your responsibility. Hold on a second. So you heard my throat chakra getting all gunked up like that. It's going to feel like that almost. You're not going to want to address that or clear it from you. But what I strongly encourage you to do is just take your time with this, because it's going to take time and it's going to be okay. And I think you're going to get through this just fine. You just need to clear this. So I'm definitely going to put a lot of warnings in this video ahead of time, because this is just for people who absolutely need it at this point. And I'm here for you. I'm hearing a song coming through. I'm gonna just channel this energy right now to see what I can do to help you. I will link a whole bunch of songs in the description below. I'm just gonna create that at the end of this video and not say a lot of the songs that come up, just to keep on track with this. But yeah, I think I'm trying to process this right now. I think some of you are a little bit having a hard time, and I just want to say I'm there with you. You are loved, and unfortunately, yeah, this is what it takes to get through this. So you're gonna be okay. You're gonna do this. Yeah. Okay. Well. So yeah, the remedy is definitely standing in your truth. And okay, so now I won't worry my life away. Okay, so Jason Mraz, the remedy is coming through. Don't worry about it. Okay, I really just want to give you a big hug. I'm probably going to, my next video is probably going to be something a little bit more lighter, because there's just this frequency of a lot of darkness, and I'm so sorry. You have so much support surrounding you, but I know it's not easy. When you feel alone and lost, let me just tell you, I'm validating you, because there was a time where all I had was my spirit guides. Like, there's a reason why I'm so in tune with the angels. They were my only option. Before I could get into like any sort of counseling, before I could get any help that I needed, I had the angels. I had God. They were my last resort. They kept me safe and alive during a time where I didn't think I could make it out of the darkest night of my life. You are not alone, and you are safe, and I am praying for you. I wish you the best, and I love you so much. I just want you to know that. So stay here with me, because we got some good news, because I also got, I'm being shown, because I was pulling some extra cards to get some other clarifications and good news. But let me just tell you, this is at the end of the tunnel. The sun. There's a okay, another song. There you are, sun, you are the rain. And then there's a promise I'll make up to you. I'm just noting this for myself, by the way. After all is said and done. So there's a lot of love and light coming at the end of the tunnel. I think there might even be some soul contrast or a twin flame reunion at the end of this. If it feels like you're on a downward spiral right now, you're going to be okay. But this needs to happen, because let me just say, if you're getting out of one relationship and stepping into another, as a side note, you're going to repeat the same mistakes as you did in the old relationship. You have to cut cords with all the people that you were in relationship with before. Take a step back, do soul revival, do a little retreat, cleanse yourself of their energy, go within, recalibrate, and consider the mistakes that were made on both sides, yours and theirs, and sit down really and take a look at yourself. Focus on yourself. Because the mistake I made was wanting to go back into other relationships, and I was just ending up in the same situations as my family. And God made it a point to remind me that all these people you're in relationships now are basically like your family all over again. And I had to go through that 3 times with 3 different groups of friends, let me just tell you. So if you're trying to go out of your way to find a new group of people, even though that's part of your soul's want and desire, if you're not healing these issues first, you're going to end up with the same group of people. You're going to end up with the same tribe, the same clan, the same commitments that were one-sided, and you deserve better than that. You're not going to find yourself in other people. You're not going to escape your own situationships by ending up in another one. You're not going to escape what's going on deep down inside yourself in another person. I need to tell you that. A few of you here need to hear that. And some of you might have to look up it's how to heal some attachment wounds or work on that with your therapist, dealing with attachment wounds or abandonment issues. Because the word limerence came up for me a lot when I was wanting to manifest new relationships 3 years ago. The word limerence, which is basically like this romantic obsession of being so blinded by this need to be wanted and accepted in a group where you miss all the red flags. And people can easily manipulate you if you're so vulnerable and wounded and an empath who sees the light in people and is just trying to keep you stuck beside them. You're just going to end up in another situation, trauma bonded. Don't make the same mistake I did. I kept doing it over and over again to the point where when new people step up to me, I'm still mindful that I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I was kind of wanting to give to this person. I'm going to just give as much as I can and then take a step back. And I still found myself like very eager, benefit of the doubt. But then God was like, well, here's all the red flags. Here's what they're doing. And I still gave them a chance, but then they overstepped a boundary. And I'm like, well, I am not afraid to walk away from this situation right now because I'm seeing the things that are happening that I never saw before. But I had to go through a lot of different types of relationships to realize I was giving so much in to something that was not giving back. And that was actively very devastating to me. Basically, God was like, they're treating you like they're nicotine. They're addicted to you. That's where I first found out that that's what was going on. So I'm just letting you know it's okay to want a soul tribe union. It's okay to want to have a relationship with people who are like you. But right now there is a need for you to focus on yourself and figure out who you are and to be you fearlessly, not masking, not needing validations, but also not needing to validate others that they are worthy of love. Like come on, you're worthy of love. So you're going to find those people. They exist. They align with you. That there's this need to release control and let things happen. It's funny. If you came from the reading yesterday, from the Akashic record reading, and yes, I'm saying it right this time, this feels like a continuation of it. So I'm happy to be here. If you're sticking around, this is for you because it's like, this feels like the same kind of spread that came up there. And I know for certain those 2 cards came out. I'm not sure about the others. But okay, so the light at the end of the tunnel. So it feels like you're in the 9 of Swords energy right now, the 9 of Wands and 9 of Swords. God is like, put the swords down, let it go. Let me take care of this. Because they're working behind the scenes to help you. Another sign or synchronicity you could be seeing that some souls or guidance from the spirit realm, people are reaching out to you, like the motherly spirit energy, daisies. The color light blue and purple are coming through. So there is this need to speak your truth right now, need to stand in your truth and your higher self, and just trust God and your spirit guides to lead you along the way, to just know that it's going to be okay. And I just want to tell you, you're not alone. It's going to be okay. You know, you're welcome here, and always I'm here for you. Like right in the comments, like try, like I said, you try to connect with people in the community. Like I am one to respond to comments and also take feedback. Like this reading basically was, I think, manifested from some of you because it does feel like a continuation of yesterday. and you are going to be okay, and this issue will resolve, and you'll be able to relieve all this. So whatever you're going through right now, within the next 2 to 3 days to 3 to 4 months, I feel like there's a lot of healing going on for you. There seems to be a catalyst for change, and it's not coming out of nowhere. You're feeling this coming in, because I'm just gonna tell you, you got a lot of support. Like I keep pulling these cards for you. Like, you're getting through this. You're going through the worst of it. You're not alone. It's going to be okay. You have, you're going to be okay. I'm just telling you, everything's going to be okay. So, the divine guidance the spirit has for you is, the more you step into your truth, the more you're going to see your wishes come true, the dreams come true. And let me tell you this, it does happen very quickly. And again, I'm going to give an example from my own experience, because I've been through this. I have real world experience in this. So I think it was about a year after I left one group of people and was doing a lot of inner work. And I rejoined the world, so to speak, and I joined a community. And right off the bat, I was meeting people that kind of mirrored past connections I no longer aligned with, but I was needing some extra help and support. So I sort of joined a few people who were kind of went through the same thing I went through. And very early on, I saw a lot of warnings and red flags, and I didn't ignore it, but I was very mindful that I was almost like aware I was re-experiencing it for a reason. I was still hurt by what happened, but I was like looking at it like, oh, I'm learning something here. Because the last group of people I had to let go of was because it just got to a point where it's too much. And I knew I had to let go. And it was really warned. Spirit literally warned me again and again, you kind of have to move away. So it was almost like this recent group of people was a test to see how much I've healed, to how many, like, we go through healing cycles. I went through a healing cycle where I healed a lot of abandonment and attachment wounds, and a lot of truths like surrounding my past experiences and relationships, and my willingness to give as well as willingness to receive. So there was a lot of healing basically that went on in the last year, to rejoin a group of people who were like similar to what I had been in previously, and already was hard to tolerate it. I had outgrown them, and spirit was there every step of the way to give me all these reasons why this is happening. This is why, that they might be new to you, but this is a familiar experience, and how I had really grown. I wasn't afraid of losing these people because I wasn't really attached. I was giving them a chance. I wanted to make friends. So what happened was, it was like one too many situations, one too many people who kind of were the repeat of the same exact thing. And I just took everything with a grain of salt, decided, well, you know what? It's probably not good for me, and moved on. And so that situation is no longer in my life. And I grieved it for like 2 weeks, by the way. It was kind of a hard thing to do. But I felt so relieved, because what that showed me was I made it so far in my healing progress that it was easy to make that decision. Whereas before, when I had a similar friend group, it was not. It was so difficult. It took me a lot longer to connect the dots and figure out they weren't good. But this time around, it's like, oh, I get it. And so experience sometimes is the best way to learn. And sometimes you do have to fall back into those same relationships and same patterns. However, you're going to come out slightly more healed, because the more you learn and the more you pass on to the next group of people from a higher place of healing or a higher vibration, you're going to know that they're probably not a good fit for you, and it's okay. You're not leaving them behind, but you're not attached to them. So that wound is healed, and you get to live your life in peace. And that, I think, is why this feels like the continuation of the other day's reading. Only go there if you resonate. I feel most of you did come from it, the Akashic record reading with your highest alignment. This feels like the empowered empath path. You are an empath in some way, shape, or form. Your highest timeline or light is to become an empowered empath and be okay no matter what group of people you're with or align with, because as long as you're comfortable being you, you're okay. And I think that's sort of the obstacle you might need to overcome and heal. And this is kind of the same thing a lot of people are going through right now. This is a rite of passage. This is how civilization has evolved. Excuse my tongue tied. This is how civilizations evolve over time. You just need to take this time for you to let your relationships evolve and, let go. And so another song is coming through, Let Go by Frou Frou. It's be- there's beauty in the breakdown. Like, there's going to be beauty in this. And I'm getting chills. Let me just tell you, I am a deeply scorpionic soul. So even when there's a lot of darkness, I don't know why, there's just something so like incredibly beautiful. Your suffering is not beautiful. What you went through is not beautiful, but your transformation is so gosh darn beautiful. That is what that is. You're transforming. You might actually have a prominent Pluto placement or Scorpio placement. I'm also hearing either Pluto or Scorpio in the eighth house. You might want to check out your eighth house placement. Some of you might have uh, the Venus in the eighth house when it comes to relationships, or like the fourth house might be in Scorpio. Just look at where some um, prominent Plutonian Scorpionic placements are in your chart. They might reveal ways to you can align with a more empowered version of yourself, but there's just this need to step into your truth and step away from these relationships. And if you are doing past life regression, or learning about these soul contracts. In this life, you are retraining your brain to be in a more divinely aligned version of yourself. And that is coming from a place of love. So, first of all, you live and you learn. You have to go through some of these experiences, though there's no excuse for the damage they cause. But you're also stepping into a time where you're going to see this version of you emerge. You're going to become the sun. You're going to become the sun. You're this empowered empath moving on. You're joining with people who love you truly and get you. The more you love yourself and know yourself, and not the version of yourself others wanted you to be, the true you. And the less you fear being the true you, the more likely you're aligning with these people. But you just kind of have to look at it from a different perspective right now, because there's a lot of trauma taking over clarity of your mind. And the only way to relieve that is to kind of process it in a way where you are safe and you're not alone, with teachers or parents or therapists who hear you or get you, or even just with the divine and the higher selves of those spirits around you who will carry you through this. And I once again, dear viewers, send you all my love and all my light. And I am here for you and will continue to be here for you, channeling these messages in whatever way God feels like is best for the collective and for you. So, again, thank you, dear souls, for being here. And I wish you the best. Blessings to you.